Hi, my name is Ethan Loveday, and welcome to my presentation, Psychology and Graphic Design, Close Bedfellows. I hope to show those of you who may not have been interested in this subject before why it is important. To do this, I have three objectives. One, to explain the topic of graphic design briefly but concisely. I do this to make sure we all have a basis of understanding on the topic. Objective 2, explain the relationship between graphic design and psychology. This will be the meat of the presentation. It will be contextualizing the aspects of graphic design I've introduced with their psychological roots. And Objective 3, convey how this knowledge can be helpful in a variety of careers. This will be contextualizing the whole of the presentation for you, the audience, to show why the topic is important. The three basics of design that I will be discussing today are color theory, form, and layout. First, color theory. Color theory is the guidelines graphic designers use to determine what color works well together, what colors work well together. It is heavily tied to the color wheel, using where each color is in relation to another to determine how well they pair. For example, if when we're looking for a harmonious design, they may choose shades of yellow to green or yellow to orange, but not yellow and violet to blue. The psychology of color theory. The psychology of color theory pertains both to how humans see color as well as the idea of classical conditioning. Humans cannot perceive opposing colors simultaneously, for example. Red and green and blue and yellow cannot be simultaneously seen. As such, putting red and green next to one another in design is a bad idea, such as here, as the viewer will see the two as if they were conflicting with one another, possibly causing eye strain, as one may be able to see if the colors on the monitor do not conflict with that. Color theory also lends much of its effectiveness to the idea of classical conditioning. For example, how much we associate the color green with grass and thereby nature and things that are healthy or natural. Okay, let's redo this. Redo. Also, color theory also lends much of its effectiveness to the idea of classical conditioning. Classical conditioning being, quote, a learning process in which two stimuli become associated with each other, when an originally neutral stimulus is conditioned to elicit an involuntary response. For example, how we associate the color green with grass and thereby nature and things that are natural or healthy. Or the color blue with water and the feeling of calming and the calming feeling of peace. Form. Form is the general shape of objects within the design. Form is the general shape of objects within the design. There are two types of forms, geometric and organic. Geometric forms being recognizable shapes such as a circle, rectangle, or triangle, and organic forms being more organic, less uniform, and often more varied. Psychology of form. Form primarily draws from the same well as color theory, that being classical conditioning. To expound upon that, take for example the three basic geometric shapes used in forms. A triangle, a circle, and a square each have their own learned associations and responses. The triangle evokes aggression or excitement, with each of its sides being a sharp, pointed angle. The circle is more inviting. Having no edges to speak of, being round on all sides, it evokes a feeling of comfort, as it reminds one of safety. And the square evokes sturdiness and strength, being flat on all sides. Layout. Layout is the arrangement of objects in a design. The layout is important as it determines how each element relates to each other. Psychology of the layout. Layout primarily uses Gestalt theory to guide the viewer. Layout relies heavily on the idea of Gestalt, both from its basic definition as well as its psychological definition. Gestalt states that the whole is separate than the sum of its parts. A layout is not a series of shapes and some words, it is a design. Layout relies on figure ground and the Gestalt laws of proximity, similarity, connectedness, closure, and continuity to make the viewer see what the designer desires them to out of the forms they feature in the design. Why this is important. It helps you understand the world around you. This helps you understand every ad sign, magazine, logo, etc. around you. This allows you to both better understand the purpose of the designs you see, as well as help you see them in a new light. It also helps you understand ways you can use these techniques yourself. Now that you understand the ideas behind design, you can repurpose the fundamentals to help you, say, better design your resume or simply design a note or letter to help you better convey your point. This is helpful in a many variety of careers as well as day-to-day activities. This could help you get an edge up over either your competitors, compatriots, or just help you in your day-to-day and your interactions with other people, as you are better able to manipulate how they see what you want them to see. Thank you for watching my presentation.